Well, my crafty friends, I am so excited to be here with you. Yeah, yesterday, I wish it were Friday, but yesterday was Wednesday, and it was really a Monday. So, not so funny yesterday, but no, it was funny. Yeah, human masterpiece, and I just came in from letting the dogs out, and I had gone out with them, and of course my feet were wet, and I thought, well, great, this is wonderful because I'm getting the floor all wet, and I thought, well, it's not paint, so I'm doing better than yesterday. So I did clean that up along with my paint from yesterday. So we are doing Magnolia Design Co.'s Craft Club for January. And if you don't know, this is a monthly craft club. And each month you have a box of some kind, some shape, size that comes directly to you. And even better, it's got everything in it that you need. And it's just super, super fun. And some of the things that come in are reusable. And I'll tell you what's reusable as we go along here as I open my box. So first of all, what you will find in every craft club box is instructions. There's also live videos. This one, we have some little baby's breath as an embellishment, some twine as an embellishment, and yes, all your embellishments come. And then this little bag, this is where we get reusable. I promise you will not use all of this. You can use it for other projects as well. And then this little bag that maybe is going to come open for me has a sample chalk paste in it. This month it's white. And this will do more than just this one project. You can probably get 3 or 4 projects out of it, and you can store it. I'm not going to use it today because I have lots and lots of chalk paste packets, and I have my chalk paste jars, and I'm trying to use up my chalk paste jars. So this squeegee will be reusable. As far as your chalk paste, it's really easy to open. There's just a little tab here, and you'll tear it across. Once you use your chalk paste, and again, a little dab will get what you need on your surface. And then I just tell people to roll it over and get a little clip. I like the actual binder clips, the teeny tiny little binder clips. Put it on that, put it in a little baggie, zip it closed, and it'll last for a while. And you know what? I have never tested to see how long it will last. I just know it's not going to last forever. Now, given that we are in cold months, when you get your craft club, if you live in a climate like I do, and your chalk paste freezes, I set my chalk paste and my surface aside, and I let the chalk paste thaw out 100%. I usually wait until the next day, and then I make sure that my surface is also room temperature. So this month's stencil is the secret ingredient is always love. Great for Valentine's, and I know that, but this one, love is a secret ingredient all year long in my book. So now, here's where my boo-boos started. So in this kit, you have a mason jar. And the mason jar that came is more the color of my sweatshirt, so it's just a little bit darker. And I wanted to make sure that this was going to match my decor upstairs. And there's a paint, it's a milk paint actually, it's from General Finish, and the color is called Basil. I love basil. I could paint everything in basil. Although from my wood furniture behind me, you see that I don't paint everything. Not if it's if it's really, really in good shape. Not going to. Anyway, so my bright idea was to paint this in the color that I wanted it. It comes surface ready. Again, it's just a little bit darker. I chose to paint mine because at this point in time, I'm thinking it was a bad decision. But, you know, I finally got it done. So anyway, this is prepped and ready to go. The first time I painted it, I clear coated it, and it turned kind of a reddish brown. My husband and I are still trying to figure that one out because where we spray in the wintertime is well ventilated, but it is outdoors, and we heat it up ahead of time. We make sure that the clear coat comes in the house with us every time, and we just can't figure out. Everything had like a multicolor to it. The red and the pinks that I painted, no big deal because it just kind of looks marbly, but this was a big issue to me. So I'm going to open my stencil, and again, our stencil, this is exclusive to Craft Club members. And here we go. So, oh, geez, the secret ingredient in its love. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to turn it to the back. This is the backer sheet. I'm turning it to the back. And I'm going to grab, oops, I know that is not permanent. I'm going to grab my permanent marker, and I'm just going to write on the back here, seasoned with love. So what that does is it tells me two things. One, this is the back, and I don't want to replace my stencil on this side. And two, when I take this off, if I'm doing multiple different kinds of stencils, I know this stencil backer goes to this particular stencil. So the stencils are sticky when you first take them off. They have, oh, I'm batting 1,000 today. Not as bad as yesterday. Today's much better. Anyway, it's sticky. Sticky on the back. So what I'm going to do, and before I put this on my surface, and this is a painted surface. When it came originally, it's the type of painted surface that's ready to go. When I painted it, I knew that if I just left the paint, it would come right up on my stencil. So I chose to clear coat. However, you can wax the painted board, and if you paint anything, you should always make sure you wax or you seal it. Now I'm feeling across this, and it feels to me a little bit bumpy, so I'm going to put my stencil down here on my fuzzing cloth, which I'll explain, and I am going to grab I'm grabbing my grocery bag, at least a part of the grocery bag. Why a grocery bag? Well, it's a little secret from when you do furniture. You always want a smooth top on your furniture, and so what I do is I take my grocery bag, any kind of paper bag, a lunch bag would be fine, and I just lightly rub over my surface. And what this does is it doesn't affect the sheen at all because I'm not rubbing really hard. But if you have any little types of teeny tiny little bumps on there, it takes it right off. Okay, that's like super smooth. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, I use my old dish towels for a lot of things. My husband says, well, I can't tell which ones are the good ones. And I said, you know what, if it's all dirty and stained, it's a craft one. If it's nice and clean and white, it's good to go. I didn't use that in my craft room. So anyway, I'm just going to make sure that I have that all dusted off. And then I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to fuzz my stencil because I don't want it this sticky. If I put it on and it's super sticky, so I'm just putting this on my fuzzing cloth, and I did it once. And I gently rub over mine to make sure that it's down. And it sticks a little bit to my tacky cloth because that gives me a little hint of how sticky it is. So tacky towel is microfiber on one side, and a terry cloth on the other side. So you can use it for fuzzing and you can also use it for drying. So I'm going to check this out. To me, this is a little bit more sticky than I like, and I want to make sure that I don't stretch out my stencil. So here's what I tell my creators. Fuzz, 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 check it, and when you think you've fuzzed enough, fuzz it again. Now this happens to be painted wood, but boy, if I was putting this on glass, I would take it down until there's almost zero sticky at all. And that's because glass and metal, these can be a bear to take them off. So now I've got my stencil fuzzled. Okay, Lynn, let's try this again. My stencil fuzzed, and I'm just going to set that down, centered the best that I can. And now what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the screen part of my stencil, I don't know if you can see that if my light is reflecting too much, but I go over that just gently and make sure that I have all those pieces down. So this piece right here, I didn't. If I went over that, it would bleed. It would bleed, and I don't want it to bleed. So I make sure that I have, glasses help, believe it or not. I make sure that I've got that all laying flat. Uh-oh. Alrighty. I have pets, and I thought I did a really good job, but apparently not. I have my little sticky cleaner here, and I usually go over this because I have lovely animals, especially my cat Briggs, who's something else, and he likes to be up around me on my desk. He likes to eat the stencils. That's always fun. So I have to be really careful about what I'm doing. Okay, I've got that on, and now I'm going to take my chalk paste. I'm going to take my glasses off because now I can't see. I don't know if you can tell, it's getting dark. It was snowing today, but it was like a really bright snow, and now it's getting dark. But the trees are all full of snow, and it looks pretty. And yes, I went out in it today. I had to run down to the University of Minnesota, and oh, yeah, that was fun. It was an adventure. We'll say it was an adventure. I love snow. I do not care to drive in snow. And so since I retired, I'm trying to make sure that I get all of this over here. I'm going back over it more than I want to. I want to try to get it down once. Ooh, I must have touched that one. And just pull it down to the bottom. But sometimes I don't have a choice and I have to go out. But I love waking up and it's a snow day, and my commute is walking from my bedroom upstairs down to my craft room, and that makes a commute so much better than starting a car and going out and shoveling snow. And the other day it was so heavy. My husband came in, I said, "Are you having a heart attack?" Because we have what we call heart attack snow, and heart attack snow is a really, really heavy snow. Like, I'm going to pull this up, and I'm taking it from my corner. I'm pulling out, and I'm going very slowly. I'm not ripping it off like a Band-Aid this time. When my stencils get to where they're not really sticky. Okay, and that came off. Now, I can tell that I stretched my stencil just a little bit because it's rolling up, but I'm going to set that aside, and when we're finished, I will go ahead and wash that out. So right now, this is what our piece looks like when it's not embellished. So I like it. I like that a lot. Now I'm going to take my dryer. Now, do you need a heat gun? Now, you can use your hair dryer. I just happen to have a heat gun. And that's because I use it for other things other than just drying. I use it for wood burning and different things. So I had to go heavy duty. So I'm just going to go over this and I'm going to make sure that it's dry. The other thing I want to make sure is that I don't dry this so close that one, I scorch it, and two, I bump it with my dryer. And yes, I've done both. Of course, it happens. Let's make sure that is dry. Let's see. Just try it out just a little bit. I want to make sure. I have been all thumbs so much this week that I'm not taking chances on anything. So I'm going to find my twine. It's right here. And this is actually a lot of twine, much more than you need. I'm just going to open that up, recycle that paper piece, and then I'm just going to pull it. I'm going to pull it out. Now I know I'm not going to use, well, so much for that. I wasn't going to undo it all. Anyway, I'm going to take this. I had two thoughts. And one, I love metal ribbon. And I don't know if you've heard of metal ribbon, but it's wonderful. And I absolutely love it. And I happened to find this one at Hobby Lobby. And it has kind of a heart shape to it. But when I came home and I checked it with what I'm doing, I would need it to be about 1.5 times bigger, and I didn't want to do that. So I opted to not use my metal ribbon, even though it's like super, super pretty. And they did have one a size up. I just didn't like it as well. That one was more fun for me. I see that I have somebody watching me who is a new grandparent and loving being a grandparent. And if you're not a grandparent, it is the greatest thing in the world. I'm starting to think maybe that was the only reason we had kids. No, not really. I love my kids, all 4 of them. But, oh, my grandson, oh, I could just love on that little mister every day. And yes, Grandma spoils him rotten, and I'm lucky I get to babysit once a week. I used to babysit 3 times a week, but I decided I'm old, and that's probably not a really good idea. And I'm going to keep going around here. I think I'm going to go, and I'm just going around the base of where the lid is. You know, the other thing I could have done, now that I look at this, is I could have done that with gray milk paint, but you know, the way things have been going for me this week, that would have been another can of paint to spill everywhere. Oh, that was bad. I need a vacation. I am beyond Calgon, take me away. I'm like, just take me away. I need a vacation, and I need it to be a vacation that I never come back from. Go get lost on an island someplace. So, oh, I love doing this. This is when I wish I had my second set of hands, but he's upstairs working, and so I don't have that second. This just makes me nervous because it's hard to pull this by yourself. See? Another reason we need friends, right? So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just tie a bow with this. I'm not quite sure that I like this just yet. No, I don't like the bows that big. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling these bows. Whoops. I'm pulling the bows down a little bit, and then I'm going to do it a little bit more. They're just bigger than I want them to be, and I hate to cut off these extra ends. It's such a waste, but I'm going to do that. They look pretty even, and I'm going to actually clip these just a little bit so it's not, actually, she has another idea. I'm going to screw this up. Oh, I was just going to try to move it a little bit, and I tied it too tight. I was going to move this a little bit to the side, but I tied it too tight. Now, baby's breath. This is a lot of baby's breath, and I'm kind of a less is more kind of person. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to snip. Actually, I think I'm gonna snip more. I'm gonna snip them to where they're smaller. So the Magnolia Design Co. Craft Club for January. If you absolutely love this as much as I do, it's available until January 21st, and that is in my craft shop. And we'll make sure that you get that link in case you're interested. But Craft Club comes year-round. When you first join, you have like a 3-month commitment, and I want to say it's $22.99 a month plus tax if you have tax in your state, and then as well as shipping. And I have found, I don't know about you, but shipping all around just seems to be slow. Apparently USPS is supposed to lower their rates. I don't know by how much, but I think what I want to do here is just, I don't know if I like this. Let's do this one at a time. And what I'm doing is I'm not gluing yet. I'm just putting it underneath the twine, so I can just kind of play around with what I'm doing to make sure I actually like it. And what I have is come on. I don't know if you know the rule of 3s and 5s, but right now I've used, I got to clip that off a little bit more, but right now I've used 3, and I like that it's not more. To me, again, like I said, less is more, and I really like that. If you wanted to add every single one of these, go for it. Do whatever you want. As I was looking at this stencil earlier, I noticed that next to ingredient, there's 2 hearts, and I think you should be able to see the 2 hearts there. Oh, this is so hard with my light. But, and that's why I should have glued them. I'm not 100% yet. I'm just not 100%. I think I really like it. I'm not ready to commit. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and I was out at Hobby Lobby, and yeah, I missed the 70% off, but I got 40% off, and so I bought this bag. They're little hearts. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bag of wood hearts, and I used Waverly white chalk paint, which is it's a acrylic chalk paint, and then I used steel, and I went back and forth. I have both colors painted, and before the live I was going back and forth, and I'm like, oh, do I do gray? And I'm like, no. I'm going to do white. So I have these little white ones, and I'm just going to add, those 2. Do you have to? Absolutely not. Do you have to paint it, leave it green? No, you can paint it pink, red, purple, black, whatever you want to do. And so what I am going to do with this, just to give it a little bit more depth, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. Yep, there went my water bottle. Okay, I'm going to put my little, this is hot glue, and so I'm just going to put my little finger thing on here because, yeah, I burned myself a lot. You know, it was my spray bottle that fell on the floor, and yay me, it wasn't my glue gun. So it's all good. Now, I had another thought about what I want to do. And of course, I didn't think about it in time. And so I had to order some other chalk paste because I have glue everywhere. Because this particular board is one that I'm just in love with. I absolutely love, 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 love it. And so what I'm going to do with this, I don't have a regular mantle. My fireplace that we do not use is brick, and it has limestone shelves, and they're at different heights. And so when I decorate in my living room for different holidays, I really go all out at Christmas. Some of the other holidays and seasons, I don't go out as big. But since this is something that not only can I have out for Valentine's, but I could actually leave it out year round, I want to make sure that I have something behind it. And so see how I added that little dimension with the hearts. And again, they were 40% off. What were they? $2.99 and 40% off. So I thought that was a good deal. No, I'm still not committing. I'm still not committing to my flowers here. This is hard. I had this all planned out and I'm like, yes, I've got this. And you know what? As soon as I got into it, I just like, no, but I have this idea and this idea. And I do have some other ideas as to how you can use the stencil, because that's what's great. I will take my stencil, which my backer sheet is stuck to. Thank goodness it's the right side. I will wash that, dry it, and then I have other projects that I can use for it. And that's what's great about the reusable stencils, is you wash them and use them again. Now, if I absolutely hated what I'm doing here, I could just go and wash this off. If I love the surface and I want to change this out, then obviously I wouldn't have put these extra hearts on it. And since I haven't glued these in, that would be okay, and I could cut that up. But you could use a different stencil every month if you wanted to change it up. I'm not going to do that. When I get my chalk paste, you know, I have every color of chalk paste, and of course I turned around to get the one I wanted, and yeah, it was gone, and I don't know. You know what? I think I am going to commit. I think I am going to commit to this, but I can see there's one little piece that I need to clip. You know, I'm actually, I've had such a time with this board, I'm actually afraid to clip this piece because I'm afraid I'm going to like scratch my board or something. So let's see. Do I have those where I want them? You know what? This is really hard for me to commit to. And see, if you're a perfectionist like me, you're going to have these struggles. But honestly, just go for it. Just go for it. Easier said than done for me. I don't know. I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit. But I am going to make sure that I am putting a little bit of glue. Come on. I'm trying to go so little that I wasn't even getting any out. I'm going to go with just a little bit, lift that up, and I'm sticking it under at just a little bit of an angle, because again, I don't want my little stick ends to, you see how easy these are to cut with scissors? I mean, easy peasy. I have my Magnolia scissors, and honestly, when they came out with these, I thought, come on, scissors are scissors. Why do I need Magnolia scissors? Oh, I decided to purchase a pair, and I actually purchased another pair because They are so sharp. I have cut metal ribbon, fabric. I know you should only have your fabric shears, right? Paper, felt. I mean, you name it, and I've probably used those scissors to cut it, and they're still sharp. I want to say I've had them. Well, I've had them since they came out, and I don't know if that was a year or 2 years ago. But they're handy dandy. Those are also available in Magnolia. The scissors, they're called stencil scissors, but I tell you, not just for stencils. Although I do use them to cut my stencils, I don't. Okay, I have all these little glue balls. You know what? I'm gonna hit my little glue strings here with a little bit of heat. I don't know if you knew that, but that should knock your little glue strings out. So there we go. That's our final one. Now, what I didn't do, which you could do, is there's plenty of extra twine. You could glue twine or any other kind of ribbon behind this and use it as a hanger. Like I said, I have another idea. So I'm going to do something more 3D, but I don't want the jute to be just an extra thing that I'm trying to stick under it and have it end up sticking out and those kind of things. I'm still not sold on this. I'm going to play around. When I get my gray chalk paste, I will show you what I'm going to do. My gray is very house. My house is very gray, but I also have my basil color in there. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. There's going to be, I'll give you hints. How about this? There will be a little bit of shabbying to it. There will be another surface that this is going to be glued onto, and it's going to be made 3D. And what else can I give you hints about? Shabby, 3D, this particular item. And that's all for hints, because it is going to go up on one of the shelves on my fireplace. So it will definitely be 3D. And again, I added just the little hearts. You don't have to. If you saw the back of this board, I'm trying not to show you. It's bad. And I'm glad that I'm gluing this on something because, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So I am back tomorrow, live at 5. And I believe, if all goes right and I don't spill paint all over myself and the floor and the walls and whatever. Seriously, you guys, I'm not kidding. It was half this can. Half this can went flying yesterday. I think I got most of it up. I don't know. I'm still going to find green paint in spaces I didn't even think that there was going to be green paint. But again, this was the General Finish milk paint in basil. We used Waverly is at Walmart. It's not at all Walmarts. I really like these little bottles because you're not committing to something this big. Obviously, I paint a lot of white. White and red, I think, have been the ones that I've gone with. Well, crimson, I've gone with the larger bottles. They go on better in my opinion. I have used regular acrylics too, and they're just fine as well. I'm just kind of drawn to the chalk paint. So, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll go back and answer all of yours. If you need links to anything, tell me you want the craft club link or the chalk paste link or the scissor link. Whatever it is, I'll make sure that I get that back to you. And like I said, tomorrow I think, yeah, I'm having a hard time making a decision. I think we're going to do a little t-shirt for my grandson. you know, the one that's not spoiled. And so I'll be doing some inking tomorrow, and then I'm waiting for some other supplies. I ran out. And yes, I shop Amazon a lot. And Joann's and Michael's and Hobby Lobby and Dollar Tree and Walmart. Because they're all great. Oh, even the Target Dollar Spot. They're all great places to get surfaces and paints and all kinds of embellishments. But I've got some other projects to do with this. And I've got some other fabric projects, and we're just going to go to town. I think I have 3 different ways. Oh, you know what? If we have time tomorrow, one of them will be using this. That's right. I have to remember that. So anyway, with that, happy crafting, happy talking, and I will see you here again tomorrow, live at 5 Central Time. I'll see you later.